Now, one thing I want you to think about with this whole, how much do we charge to educate kids? It costs us about 96. Round that down to 9,000 and do the math on that 1,000 new students per year. 1,000 new students and 9,000, that's 9 million. 1 mil generates 3 million, which means 3 mils to keep up with the growth. I want to take you back to that piece about what does the state send us. They send us roughly 15% of our budget, 500. Student aid standpoint, it's about roughly $500 per student. That means that 3 mils that we have to generate, we get a little bit from the state, but for the most part, the local property owner is filling up that gap of the growth. So over a 3-year period, that's 9 mils. So if you've lived here long enough to see that cycle, you've probably seen 3 or 4 years, 8 or 9 mils. A lot of things go into that, and obviously 85% of our budget's personnel, so there's some raises thrown in there, there were some benefits, but for all intents and purposes, that growth that we're talking about is what drives that levy cycle. Now, we also know, by the way, that we can't just say, oh, sorry about your luck, that's what's driving the levy cycle. We'll be back in 3 years, get your checkbook ready. We can't do that because we know that won't work. Because we know that people are continuing to say, okay, is this sustainable? And the answer to that's no, it's not sustainable. Absolutely not sustainable. So we're looking at many things down the road. For example, stop building. We know when we build a new elementary, we add $2 million per year. And those of you that are accountants in here know $2 million this year is more than $2 million next year. So we had $2 million in operating costs for elementaries. New middle school costs us $4 million. That new high school that everyone's talking about, that's going to cost $65 million, will also add $7 million in operating costs. That's why we say we're not building it. There has to be a better way, and there are better ways. And we'll talk about that here at the end.